Hey there! So today I was struggling with what to post for you guys because I had to work, but then after that this is just not an exciting day for me because I'm so tired. Part of it is because I stayed up trying to put a Vlogmas video up. Not smart, but I am dedicated. And I'm just really tired. I basically came home, vegged on the couch watching some documentary about monkeys, and then fell asleep for an hour. So here I am. Ever since I started doing Vlogmas, I've actually gotten a lot of questions on this, both on Twitter and in the comments, because I think people were surprised to see that this is an actual option. Now, as you guys know, I wear a wig to work. I have unnatural colored hair, and that is against dress code policy. And therefore, I wear a wig to work because I like having my pink hair in my personal life. But I try to respect their dress code at work. And, you know, whether or not it's something that I would choose to do with my own company is completely irrelevant. It's not my company. I work for this company, but at the end of the day, it's not my company. And if they want to put a dress code policy on that, then that is completely their prerogative. They definitely have that power to do so. They have that right to do so. And as an employee, I know that I need to respect that, and that's okay. It took me a while to feel more okay with it, but it's okay. Now, for a quick story on how that started. Back when I had my red hair, that was permitted by the company, both with higher up and lower management. That's the word, management. And then, I guess, about a year in, they decided that they were kind of going back and forth discussing it and ultimately decided that my hair was no longer appropriate. I didn't even know it was up for debate. I got hired with it and I worked there with it, so why would I know any different? But I guess they just decided that they wanted to start really enforcing the policy, and they found that my hair did not fit in with those regulations. And they originally asked me to dye it. I was very upset about this because I was very attached to my hair. The idea of changing it just absolutely broke my heart. My hair is a big part of my identity. It's very important to me. So we made an agreement. I brought up the idea. I was like, well, what if I wear a wig? I was like, I will spend good money on a wig. I will make sure that it doesn't look like a wig. But how about I wear a wig? And my manager agreed to it, thinking that that was very fair. And here we are. And that was the thing, is that presented with this opportunity, I want to start off this video really establishing the importance of spending a little bit more money on a wig. I did not want to ruin this opportunity by buying a cheap Halloween wig, because I promise you, Halloween wigs are great for Halloween or other types of events, or if you just want to wear them out and about. But for a professional environment, and especially if you are looking for it to look realistic like I was, Halloween wigs like this one here are not the way to go. It has this shine here is a very synthetic shine. You can find synthetic wigs that still look realistic, but this is a low quality wig. It's a low quality wig. It's got a very synthetic shine. If I wear it, you might think the color looks nice on me. You might even think that the wig looks nice. But at the end of the day, you are going to know that this is a wig, and it will not be passable. This wig cost me $40, and this wig is going to be great for booktube videos when I want to play a book character. And this wig is great for Halloween if I want to be a character with darker hair and it's just not my hair color. I have several Halloween wigs. I love them. I love them. I can always find reasons to have them and wear them. But in a professional setting, I still acknowledge that these are just not going to pass. They're not appropriate. If you work at some place where it's like you guys can wear wigs and it's for fun, maybe you even work at a costume shop and something like that's okay, then, go for it. But if you're just trying to cover up your unnaturally colored hair, then I highly recommend putting more money out, because I cannot promise you how your job is going to respond to a wig that so obviously looks fake. But again, to each his own. If for some reason you find some Halloween wig that you feel looks really, really natural, which it's hard for me to believe because I've tried on a lot of lower end wigs, and I can honestly tell you that I don't know that any would have been 100% passable as looking natural. That being said, the wig that I bought was about $200 at a local wig shop. I clearly stayed away from any Halloween type stores, any costume shops. I went specifically for wig shops that specialize, because wig shops specialize in wigs and weaves and things like that that are going to look natural. And obviously that was what I wanted. That is what I wanted. Now $200 is still on the lower end of that wig spectrum. Not Halloween wig low, but as far as like natural looking wigs, $200 is on the lower end of it. So I kind of had some idea that wigs were expensive. So I went in knowing that I was going to shell out at least $200. I think this one actually might have cost me like $180 or something like that. So it's just under $200. But again, this was on the lower end of wigs because, you know, I get it. I do not have an unending supply of money, and just shelling out that couple $100 was painful enough. And it's not like I have $500 to just shell out on a wig. I tried on a lot of wigs. I went to a couple different wig shops and I tried on a lot of wigs because I wanted to find one that I felt comfortable in. I felt somewhat confident in, something that I felt that I was going to be able to realistically wear every day, that had an easy style, that I could do what I would like with it, that was going to be appropriate for my job. And finally, this was the one I decided on. This is actually very, very similar to my hair color before going red when I was blonde for a little while. So I was fairly confident on how this would look. But they usually help you there. They usually have, like, the ones I went to all had little vanities, and they help you out, and they, you know, are going to usually oblige you trying on wigs. They're not there. I've never been to a wig shop where they require you to buy it and not try it on. You always can try it on. And if you can't, then I probably wouldn't recommend buying from there, because you should be able to try it on and know that it looks the way you want it to look. Now, because it is on the lower end of the wig spectrum, that means that tying it straight back like that into a ponytail, anything like that, not going to work whatsoever. Not going to work. It's going to go from looking realistic to unrealistic in an instant. You will tell it's a wig. If I were to pull it back, you can tell it's a wig. The only other time you can really tell if it's a wig is if I didn't pin my hair as well and, like, you know, a pink streak comes through. But that doesn't happen very often. Usually I'm pretty good. But other than that, like, you just can't pull it straight back unless you want to spend some serious money on that wig. Because I have to have my hair, like, constrained for work, because I'm around food and things like that. So I need to have my hair contained. I cannot just have my hair straight down unless it's super short, which it's not. So I usually take a few pieces, not the ones right here, because again, we want to hide that wig seam that they have. I usually pin it kind of like that, and then I usually tie my hair off into a side braid. Sometimes I will do 2 braids on either side, you know, making sure, again, there's some pieces here that cover kind of over my ears and really conceal that wig seam. Or I could, if I wanted to, I could even pull my hair straight back into a low ponytail, because it still allows for the hair to cover the wig seam. Obviously, I'm showing you on my real hair, not on a wig, but it gives you an idea of how I style it so that it has a chance of looking the most realistic while still fulfilling my dress code policy at work. Because that's the thing, you don't want to go through all this trouble and have it still violate your dress code policy. So make sure you know your dress code policy well so that you can make an educated decision whether this is for you. That being said, I personally had my manager's approval on this as long as it looked realistic, and nobody can ever tell that I'm wearing a wig. My customers compliment me on how pretty my hair is all the time, and I don't even bother to correct them that it's a wig, because it's just too much energy. And even when I first started work, people that saw me every day, my coworkers, thought they had a new girl working there. They didn't realize that it was me and my wig, and then when they realized it was me, they thought I changed my hair, because it looked so realistic. The other thing about spending a little extra money on a wig too is the longevity of it, because you want to be able to care for it properly. if you want to get the most out of your wig and feel like you got the most out of your investment, take care of it. It's not expensive to take care of it. It's really not. It doesn't even take that much time when you do have to take care of it. You can brush it out with just a regular brush. I do. Mine has held up fine, and I've worn it 5 days a week for over a year. Then, see if I can grab that for you. I recommend getting a wig conditioner. This is a spray-in one. It just has a little spray nozzle, kind of like hairspray. And I'm not going to do it right now. I guess I could do it a little bit. See if I can show you. I kind of hold the spray a little farther back, and I spray. And normally I would spray underneath. I spray up front, like all over, make sure it gets in, and then just brush it through. It kind of helps decrease tangles, anything like that that might be caused from excess oil or just whatever the reason. I was going to show you the wig shampoo that I use, but I can't find it right now. And again, this product was not very expensive. The wig shampoo, not very expensive. And both last you a million years. The conditioner, I probably do about once a week. I don't really seem to need to do it more often than that. Sometimes I might even go a week to 2 weeks, depending on if I'm working a little bit less. And that seems to do just fine for me. It is not an everyday thing. Even when you go to wash it, it's approximately every 30 to 35 uses. So if you wear it every single day, it's going to be about once a month for you. I wear mine about 5 days. I wear mine about 5 days a week. So that's approximately 20 uses a month. And that means that I usually wash my wig every 1.5 months. And that works well for me because you can usually feel it too when it's getting close to washing it. It's just not as nice because you get oils in it from touching it, anything that happens to splash in it. Just, you know, same thing with your real hair. It's going to get dirty. So after about 30 uses, you wash it. And there are tutorials and stuff on that on YouTube. I think that's how I learned to wash mine. And there are ways on just showing you how to dry it. The only thing I personally recommend, make sure that if you're going to wash it, that you have plenty of time to let it dry. I usually, if I have 2 days off coming up, I try to do it around those 2 days. If I don't have 2 days off coming up next to each other and I just have one, usually, say I have Saturday off, then I'm likely to wash it as soon as I get home from work the Friday before. And then I would wash it and then hang it upside down in my shower. And then it's usually dry by that night. But in case it's not for weather reasons or just whatever, I always like to make sure that give it more than enough time before my next shift so that it is nice and clean and doing exactly what it should be and feel awesome and amazing. But I do not want to go to work wearing a wet wig. So I make sure I give it plenty of time to dry. And then after it's done drying, I just spray some of the conditioner stuff in it again because now it's all wet and tangled. So I spray the conditioner in it. Once it's all dry, brush it through and you're good to go until your next wash. And the shampoo, the conditioner, they're really inexpensive and they last you forever. I buy both on Amazon. The other thing that you're going to want are wig caps. I think the thing that I have to repurchase the most often are wig caps, but they are also pretty inexpensive. I use these ones that look kind of like stockings, but they do have some netted ones. I prefer these. But basically what you do is you pin up your hair in sections, even if you have really long hair. When I first started wearing a wig, I had very, very, very long hair. I did not have shorter hair, and these methods still work for me. Don't think that just because you have long... That's cool, just dropping stuff all over the place. I will clean it up in a minute. But I pin my hair in pieces. I pin my hair in pieces and put the wig cap over it and then put the wig on. I have never once had to actually pin my wig on. It stays pretty well. There is like kind of a net inside and it's got enough tension that it just stays on your head. And if you feel like it's getting loose, most come with these straps inside, so you can actually tighten that if you feel like it's getting stretched out at all. I've only had to do that a couple of times and it's never been a big deal. And I can promise you that a Halloween wig just would not have held up the way this one is, with so many using it so often, putting up with washes and anything. The only thing I do recommend is don't try to change the shape of your hair I've never applied heat to this. Not ever. I've never blow dried it. I've never curled it. I've never straightened it. Especially because a lot of times if you do that, say you curl a straight wig, well then you're just going to have a curly wig from then on. You do not want to straighten it back. You absolutely do not want to try and straighten it back. I personally never applied heat to mine. I have no intention of doing it because it's really going to decrease the quality of your wig, especially if you're trying to be at a more reasonable price point like the $200 mark. I'm just going to tell you right now, just stay away from heat products. You can curl your regular hair outside of work and all of that, but I highly recommend don't do that. Just don't. But these wig caps, I buy them for about $4 for $5 or something on Amazon. They're very inexpensive, and you get quite a few uses out of them before you have to use a new one, let alone go through a whole pack. So I only have to buy these once every few months. And for $5, it's really not a big deal. But I really wanted to make this video because I actually was so surprised to receive so many questions on it. But, you know, it's totally okay to ask me questions like that. Like, I can understand being curious. It was kind of a fluke idea for me. I just wanted to still have my regular hair in my real life. And this provided me the alternative to that so that I could fit within my dress code policy at work, but still keep my hair every other time. Now, keep in mind, I did have my manager's permission before doing this and trying this out. And that being said, I don't want you to just necessarily, if you decide to not tell anybody that you're going to start wearing a wig to work because you plan on dyeing your hair an unnatural color, then, you know, that go for it. If you feel confident and comfortable enough to do that, if you feel like your wig looks great enough to do that. I am just not that confident, so I made sure that I talked about it with my manager first, and she was okay with it. I can't imagine that they wouldn't be okay with it because it would seem ridiculous to me, because you're still, just because it's not physically growing out of your head, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it because it's still within dress code policy. It's still within dress code policy, and who cares how you manage to get that hair. I mean, don't go shaving it off somebody's head. That's weird, and that's violent, and it's a criminal offense. So don't go doing that. But whether it's a wig or whether it's your real hair is it should be pretty irrelevant. But in case that somebody at your job has a problem with it, don't go blaming me if it doesn't work out well. Again, I had my manager's permission before embarking on this wig journey. And I just want to throw that out there. I just want to throw that out there because the last thing I want to do is get anyone in trouble on my advice. I would hate that. I would absolutely hate that. I hope that this helps you, and I hope that you realize that this is a potential option for you if you want to have brightly colored hair, but you're worried about your job. Again, I don't want to push you in any wrong direction, so just sort of consider what I've talked about today and consider that it could be an option for you, but make the best decision for yourself. If you don't feel like you're going to be able to keep up with the maintenance and be able to add this to your routine every morning, it's not for you. If you don't think that colored hair is something you're going to, I mean, if you want to buy a $200 wig to wear colored hair for a month, I mean, go for it if that's what you want to do. But I knew that I was committed to my colored hair. I knew that I was not going to be going natural for a long time. It's been over a year and I still have no intention of going natural. So it's been a very, very, very good investment for me. It's been a very good investment for me. And I just wanted to let you guys know that this is a possible option for you, or something to consider, or something to talk about with your boss. And yeah, one of my friends actually now, she also likes unnatural colored hair. She's gone blue, she's gone, I don't even know, she's done a lot of different colors. And she now wears a wig to work, and she got it from the same place that I bought mine. And she wears a wig to work so that way she can still have her unnatural hair, colored hair. And with her, she didn't tell her job that she was wearing a wig. She just got a new job and she just kept wearing the wig and nobody knew the difference. Nobody knew the difference. One person figured it out, and that was because she forgot to pin a piece of her blue hair so it was sticking out. And it really confused the girl, and then my friend was like, oh yeah, it's a wig. And so she went in, and again, I can't promise that this would be your situation. I don't want to misinform you guys in any way or push you in any direction that you don't feel comfortable with. Obviously, I just am putting this video out there for educational purposes. But she went in, didn't tell anybody, she just started wearing her wig, and it was never a problem with her job either. It was never a problem, and she didn't even ask first. She just did it, and it's worked out very successfully for her as well. And I just wanted to let you guys know that this is a very real option for you if you do want to try out colored hair, but you feel restricted. And I hope this answered the questions that you guys had, because I received so many of them, and a lot of them were very, very similar. And I thought maybe there are more of you that might want to know that... Oh, I'm getting out of breath. I'm talking so much in this video. So long, too. So long. But I figured there might be more of you that also have these questions and just haven't asked or don't feel comfortable asking. And I hope that this is educational for you guys. I hope that I was able to help you guys out in some way, answer your questions. And if you have more questions, feel free to ask me. If there's something you feel like I haven't covered and you're curious about it, please ask. And if I have an answer for you, I will be happy to help. Also, oh, I was going somewhere with that also. I swear I was. Oh, and for those of you that honestly never cared about this, didn't even want to know, and you still sat through this entire video anyway, well, thanks for your support anyway. Sorry if I wasted your time on something that you don't care about. Anyway, thanks for sticking it out there if you didn't care about this at all. Alright, I think that's it. Sorry for any of the rambling. I just wanted to make sure that this video was educational and comprehensive, and I gave you information to the best of my abilities based on my knowledge and my limited knowledge and my own experiences with it. I hope that helped, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.